If you're into outdoor photography, the chances are you might own a 50mm prime lens, or at least you've heard all the hype about it. But what makes it so great? Well, today I'm hoping to find out whilst exploring this amazing coastal town here in Wales. Hello and welcome to the coastal town of Tenby. So I'm working on my Between the Hills project today, which I'm really excited about. This is a place I've wanted to come and shoot for quite some time because there's lots of interesting history here. So it'd be really interesting to see what we can find. And I'm travelling really light today. I've literally just got everything in this one sling bag here. I've got my XH2 and the nifty 50 lens. So really looking forward to just shooting with one focal length and getting creative with that and seeing what we can come up with. And obviously we'll be chatting about why the 50mm lens is such a versatile lens and probably is in a lot of people's kit bags. So I've walked down to the end of the beach. Thought I'd start my walk from here. But you know, a 50mm prime lens I think really suits a photo walk like this, and it kind of brings me on to my first point about why I think a 50mm prime lens is loved by so many people. So firstly, I think it's fair to say the 50mm focal length closely mimics the field of view the human eye sees, which means it offers a very natural perspective that makes photos feel immersive and relatable. Secondly, there's minimal distortion, unlike wide-angle lenses that can stretch or exaggerate objects, or a telephoto lens that can compress the scene. The 50 keeps proportions looking true to life. And thirdly, it gives you a natural perception of depth. The way objects relate to each other in terms of distance looks similar to real life, giving us a very natural feel as well. By the way, I'm shooting with the 33mm Viltrox lens today, so 33mm on a crop sensor camera is, I think, 49.5mm, so we're as close to 50 as I can possibly get. But yeah, basically the same thing, and this has got an aperture of f1.4, so we can get that really super shallow depth of field, and it's a fantastic lens actually. I've had this lens for a number of years now and thoroughly enjoy picking it up. Yeah, what a beautiful day, really hazy, soft light, really nice. Another reason why 50mm lenses are loved so much is how light and compact they are. You know, this is an f1.4 lens and it's really small, which is just great for travel or taking on a wander such as this. Also, prime lenses typically perform better in terms of image quality. Quite often a prime will be sharper right through to the very corners, which is why they're often used by professional photographers as well. So this, like I mentioned, is an f1.4 lens. That means the aperture is really wide, meaning it's great for low light photography, but it's also great for subject separation as well. You can get a very, very shallow depth of field with this, which hopefully I'll try and demonstrate in just a second. Another key factor that makes a 50 so good is its versatility. A 50mm lens works well across various scenarios, from capturing landscapes and environmental details to street photography and also portraits. Many photographers, myself included, enjoy shooting with a fixed focal length as it challenges us to move and find the best composition rather than relying on zooms. I use zooms for my landscape photography because quite often I don't have the option of being able to move, but for environments like this and using this focal length, you kind of know if it will or won't work straight out of the bat because of that natural field of view. So the light coming across this harbour now is absolutely beautiful. You know, just that perfect light where it's just diffused by a layer of cloud, just illuminating the buildings, giving it a nice soft glow. Absolutely fantastic. Just a little bit of mist in the background, adding that separation. Yeah, couldn't have asked for anything better, but I think I'm going to explore the town in just a second, and I might even dabble in a bit of street photography. That's a first for this channel. And also, I'm looking for a pasty shop because I'm pretty hungry now. So let's go and see what we can find. So just up this rather quaint little cobbled street, we have the Plantagenet, which is an incredibly old building. I think it dates back to about the 10th century, and it's got a really interesting Flemish chimney as well, which is pretty incredible. Another reason the Nifty 50 is so popular is that it's often more affordable than other lenses, yet it still delivers incredible sharpness and quality. What makes it more affordable comes down to its design and production. A big reason is its simple optical design. The 50mm focal length is considered a normal lens for full frame cameras, and this simplicity allows it to be constructed with fewer and less complex parts. On top of that, the lens elements themselves are smaller because the 50mm works naturally with the sensor's field of view. That means there's no need for oversized or exotic glass elements, which helps to reduce material costs. Since they're so widely used, 50mm lenses are also mass produced on a large scale, which further helps to keep the prices down. Even though they're more affordable, the simplicity of the 50mm design actually works in its favour. With fewer elements, these lenses deliver sharp optics, better light transmission and excellent image quality. It's proof that you don't need to spend a fortune to get really good results. So, one thing with street photography I always find is there's always compromise, isn't there? I guess that's the same with any type of photography, but you know, that last shot there I took, managed to get the woman walking down the road. Shopping bag matched the colour of the windows, which I really like. I think the colour palette was lovely. The car parked in the garage was interesting. I thought I added a little bit of intrigue, curiosity to the image. However, there was a Mini parked right at the end of the road, and for me it kind of ruined the composition. I just wish that wasn't there, but yeah, it wasn't a bad attempt, I don't think. But yeah, I'm going to see what we can find around the island here in the peninsula, and maybe go down to the old lifeboat station, see if we can get a few more 50mm shots. Anyway, it's time to tuck into the Tenby treat, which is steak and Stilton, and of course a coffee. Can't reach it. So it's a very interesting old double cannon down here that's buried into the street foundations, which I'm told is actually worth more than some of the properties around here. I'll spin you around, let me show you. Very interesting. Yeah, good luck trying to get that out of the ground. So if you don't own a 50mm prime lens, don't worry, there's no need to rush out and go and buy one. What you could do is grab one of your zoom lenses, grab some tape it off to 50mm and just go out for the day and shoot and see if you enjoy shooting at that focal length. If you do, then maybe it's time to invest in a prime if you'd like to get, say, low light performance and a shallow depth of field. But yeah, you could do the same for 35 and 40. Now today, I think there's been a few occasions where perhaps 50mm has been a little bit too tight for me. There was one shot back there where there was a motorcycle in the foreground and I really wanted to try and get that in the frame, and also the buildings in the background just couldn't quite fit it in. And there's been a few other occasions as well where it just didn't quite work out for me. When I was out with the Fuji X100VI a few weeks back, I felt 35 was perhaps a little bit too wide. So I think maybe I'm probably in the middle for the type of photography that I want to do on this Between the Hills project. That being said, I think I'd rather be a bit wider and crop in than, not being able to get the shot unless I was to do a panorama, which we did do earlier in the harbour there. So yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed being out with the prime lens today. I always think it's a great way of, getting creative and just enjoying your photography and just taking a bunch of shots and just not worrying too much whether you capture amazing photos. It's just more a case of going out for the day and being as creative as possible and seeing what you can come back with. Anyway, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, there's another one at the top there that you might find interested. And why not check out my free guidebook on light, which is linked up the top there and also down in the video description. Anyway, until next week, take care.